Welcome back to my film and TV channel. Yes, a lot of people got themselves in a little bit of a stew with this one. Yes, it's called Black Rabbit. Yes, sorry about that. A crime thriller television miniseries created by Zach Bailin and Kate Sussman for Netflix. Yeah, I'm still not sure what a miniseries is. This is 8 episodes, 50 odd minutes. So I don't know, is that a miniseries? I don't see the need for a sequel or a follow-up to it, but anyway, I'm still not too sure. I'll have to look it up, won't I? This was released on Netflix on September the 18th. I'm doing this review on September the 20th, 2025, so a couple of days later. Roxana Hadidi from New York Magazine said, "It's a riveting and devastating ride, anchored by some of the most mercurial performances you'll see on TV this year." So, all good then. Well, not particularly, no. Kelly Lawler from USA Today, she had a slightly opposite view. She said, "Comes off as a dull, literally dart slog into a poorly explicated criminal underworld." Yes, they can't both be right, can they? But yeah, I think this is getting a lot of bad press. I'm not too sure why. I enjoyed this. I must admit, I enjoyed the 8 episodes. I watched them over an afternoon, an evening, and a morning. So yeah, very, very strange. Anyway, what's it about? Well, when the owner of New York City hotspot allows his chaotic brother back in his life, he opens the door to escalating dangers and threatens to bring down everything he's built. Of course, yes, but he's not clean himself. He's not perfectly clean himself. But anyway, that's the setting we've got. We've got Jude Law in this and Jason Bateman. They're the two main protagonists. We've got plenty of other guys though. Cleopatra, Colman, great name. Amaka Okafor, Sophie Dinusu, Dagamera Dominiques, and Chris Coy, and many others as well. Lauren Bateman, yeah, I think they make this great dysfunctional team as brothers. Obviously love each other, but of course push each other to the extremes. I won't say they're the good guys. I think they're far from it, in fairness. Jude Law's best role for a while for me, and Bateman is perfect for his part as well. So even when things are a bit of a slog, as someone said there on, or has been said about this, them two make it watchable, and they're generally on the screen most of the time. We do get other little subplots and characters as well. Listen, there's nothing new or exceptional in this. It's just pretty well put together for me, and the brothers' chemistry is painful, but pretty good as well. And you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family, can you? Emily Baker was another. She's from iPaper, iWebsite. She didn't like this. She only scored it 40. She can make comparisons to The Bear, which I think a little bit, it's a different thing altogether, which is a bit unfair. But she said, where the Disney Plus series The Bear builds characters and relationships that are easy to care about, Black Rabbit tortures the detestable men at its centre and us along with them. Well, you don't always have to build characters to care about. It doesn't work like that. The fact that there's hardly a male character in this that you can particularly like at any time, of course, constantly anyway, and as ever, the female characters are the better, well, the ones with the heads screwed on better and the better characters, but it still remains very watchable, even though I didn't find a male character to particularly like that much. I mean, bad decisions follow bad decisions, episode by episode, of course, which lays out the story. I do like to invest in people. I do like to care about people, but I think it can work even if you don't care about them. And I don't think torture for the viewer is perhaps the way to go. There is a change in style that was interesting about 2/3 of the way through, and it doesn't carry on throughout the rest of the series, but just an episode, I think it was one episode, it might have been two, but just one episode where you start, the names come up on screen and you look at the story from their perspective. Now, that hadn't been done early in this, so strange change of tack, really, and no real need for it. It doesn't dilute what we get to watch. It doesn't dilute the watch as such, but it's a little bit unusual. I'm not too sure if they perhaps got a different writer-director for an odd episode. I don't know, but it just seems strange. But it doesn't dilute the quality of what's on screen. Clint Worthington, another critic from RogerEbbott.com, said, perhaps if the story was more focused or the supporting characters were given more to do in their wasteful subplots. Alas, this is one rabbit the creators simply couldn't pull out of the hat. So again, he didn't like it. I think the subplots are not that deep to make any great effect on the overall thing, and it certainly don't. Again, it doesn't dilute anything. They're okay. The subplots. I think Clint is thinking far too much. Just sit back, get annoyed at the idiots on screen and enjoy it. For me, that's all I tended to do. But there were positives, as I said. Generally, it is getting a positive feedback on this. Joel Keller from Decider website scored it 70. He said, "We get the feeling that Black Rabbit is going to be problematic and overstuffed as the series moves along, but Lawton Bateman are so compelling as Jake and Vince. We'll keep watching just to see how far Vince pushes his brother's goodwill." I said, you can't choose your family, can you? Yeah, it's to the state of it's almost comedic at times how some of these characters, especially the two main brothers and others in this, react or deal with life and carry on. And it can be frustrating, but for me, still very watchable. As I say, you just think, why the hell's that? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? You know, he needs to get some help. Some help. But yeah, I just thought it remained very watchable all the same. And yeah, just recently I've been adding a little thing. Now I'm gonna, you won't believe me, but I actually put this little line up before I watched the last episode. Now, if you do get to the last episode and watch it, you know what I'm talking about, because all I wrote in my little review, I think on the morning I was watching just before I watched the last episode, I put the end. Did it land? Now you'll know what I didn't mean anything by that, but if you watch the last episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. But generally, yes, it did land. You can certainly say it did. There's no obvious setting up for a second series. It sort of ties up all the little bows nicely at the end. The character Jake perhaps doesn't deserve the ending it gets. I think he needs a little bit more comeback, and perhaps he would have got a little bit more comeback in real life. But yeah, so say it's not easy for the character, but the ending sort of deals with most of the things and sorts it all out. So you're not left with any doubt what's happened and what's going to happen. So I was fine with the ending. And as I say, even in a mini-series, you don't always land the ending very well, but this landed very well, yeah, with a bit of a thud as well, obviously. Anyway, as I said, I did write that before I watched the episode and saw what went on, so please believe me. But it was quite ironic or quite prophet. What's the word? I'm not a prophesizer, but it's certainly interesting, wasn't it? Anyway, let's have a look at some of the scores in general. As I say, they're generally positive, but they're not gushing. Rotten Tomatoes, just 62% approval. That was a little bit higher a couple of days ago before I watched this. That's 42 critics. 26 were fresh, but 16 rotten, so a big chunk of rotten. I give them, so maybe that 27 fresh with my score. Metacritic, they again, it was 70-odd%, but that's dropped now to 62% based on 22 critics. 11 were positive, 9 were mixed, and just 2 negative. So let's make that 12 positive. I'm positive on this. Rotten Tomatoes audience are okay, 73% positivity. Internet Movie Database, again, the scores dropped a little bit. It's gone down to 7 out of 10, but you're still okay. 1,500 scores and reviews. And that's the score I'm going to give it as well. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's worth that. A good series for me. Yeah, it's not too deep or sort of what's the word? Anything special to what we've seen before. And of course, it's all about the two lead characters, of course, starring this Lauren Bateman, who make it very, very watchable to good. So I'll give it a 7. Let me know what you think, guys. Great to have your opinion. Hope you enjoyed the format, how I do these things, including other people's views and my views on their views. Hope you like that. And if you want to contact me, or of course, if you do want to support the channel, there are ways of doing that. Of course, we've got a hype button now, haven't we? Please press that like button. That'd be wonderful if you can do that as well. Press the hype button, which helps out all my algorithms and stuff like that. And there's other ways for supporting the channel if you like the content as well. All you have to do is stay watching and listening. Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please give us a thumbs up, and if you've not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful.
And as ever, guys, yeah, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, everyone.